Now, there's one very relieved and grateful family in Cape Town tonight. 8-year-old Abirah Dekhta was found in Khayelitsha last night after being kidnapped on the 4th of November. Her safe recovery is being hailed as a success for a number of teams who worked together on this case. With kidnapping on the rise, it's very welcome news. I'm joined now by JP Smith, Mayoral Committee Member for Safety and Security in Cape Town. Thank you so much for joining us. This really is great news that this little girl is safe and sound. Could you tell us how she's doing at the moment?
We've not had contact with the family, but the reports we had from staff who were involved is that she is well. And the community relief around her return is palpable. I think that kidnapping like this affects not just the family, but the entire community, to the extent that we saw protests resulting from community members demanding effective action by the police.
Tell us how she was found. This wasn't just a lucky chance. There was an integrated police effort using high tech to pinpoint where she was. Tell us how it worked.
So the city certainly can't take the credit for this. This is the police's National Anti-Kidnapping Unit, and I mean all praise should go for them. They did remarkable work in this regard. And on previous kidnapping cases, as you know, the city have been pressurizing the National Commissioner to create an anti-kidnapping task force and extortion task force to allow the city to support SAPs who have very constrained resources on these specific, very specialized crimes which need a very specialized response. And the anti-kidnapping task team has taken us up on previous incidents when they've worked in the city. They reached out to us and we were able to assist this time more so on the investigative and crime information side. And specifically with the advanced technology, they've asked us to be discreet about what exactly it was that we did so that we do not unduly enable the criminals and give the criminals a better understanding of how to avoid detection and prosecution should this happen again. But all praise to SAPs who, at least the anti-kidnapping unit, who saw an opportunity, allowed the city to participate. And we're wholeheartedly committed to this. Kidnappings are enormously traumatic for the victim, for their families, their broader communities, and the massive reputational harm they cause the city and the country as a whole, which in the long run will have devastating consequences for us on all kinds of levels. So we're super happy that Abirah is back with her family.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful news. So what you're saying to me is you can't really tell me too much about their sophisticated techniques because we don't want to give the criminals a heads up, so absolutely fair enough. But also you're making the point, the good old-fashioned crime intelligence, speaking to people on the ground, gathering that information also plays a crucial role. Do you feel more secure, more assured that should there be further kidnappings, there's now a system on how to tackle it?
That's exactly the takeaway from this, is that if in the past criminals relied on under-resourced policing units struggling to catch up with them and struggling to outmaneuver them, understand that we are stronger when we work together, and that when the South African police embrace partnerships like they did in this case. And I really want to tip my hat to the Provincial Commissioner and others and senior staff within the DPCI who are increasingly working with the city and within other spaces. We are grateful for that willingness to try partnership and to give it a chance. And I think the lessons we learn are that the partnership and the trust that is evolving between the operational staff and the skills we are learning as the city in the process will serve SAPs very well in the future. And I'm hoping that there will be fewer next times, that there will be less other families suffering the horror of this, and that should this happen again, we will be on top of it much more rapidly, that the technologies we are deploying are available to us, and we will get on this more rapidly because we now understand what it is that SAPs needs as well. So our skills will rise to meet the needs of the specialized units within SAPs. And hopefully as we are not paying ransoms or fewer ransoms get paid and more convictions happen, the syndicates will die out. Other countries have faced the same horror and have overcome it, have been able to get convictions and deal with the syndicates. And I understand that for the family, the first prize is to pay the ransom and get their family member, their child, their husband back. Absolutely, that must be their first priority. But more broadly, that means that that syndicate walks away empowered and
Exactly.
eager for another victim. And this at least draws a line, starts drawing a line under that. So great progress.
So can you confirm that no ransom was paid for Abirah?
To the best of my knowledge, not.
Okay.
This was a genuine detection by the police and a recovery.
You know, I've just had an interview with the Gauteng Premier, and he is on a mission to deal with crime in Gauteng. It's getting so badly out of control. And he said if you took the Gauteng crime stats out of the nation's stats, we wouldn't look that bad. We've really got a massive problem in Gauteng. And he wants to look at all sorts of high tech. But the city of Cape Town has launched, you know, obviously this kidnapping issue is something that could be rolled out nationwide. But I know that recently you launched a new highway patrol. You're preparing now for an influx of tourists, local and foreign. Talk to me about the plans that you have in place to keep everyone safe this festive season.
So I can tell you that we are speaking a lot to municipalities and even to persons within the provincial government in Gauteng. We've had delegations down here these last 2-3 weeks continuously, and we've worked very closely with them. We are building strong partnerships with municipalities in Gauteng and also across the Western Cape. So wherever there are metros willing to partner with us, we are entertaining delegations down here. We're showing them technologies that we're developing and that we're working on. We're talking to them about the future collaborative development and purchase of these technologies so we can do better together. And there's a lot of eagerness there. We had a very robust engagement with Tshwane last week. And absolutely, if you look at the kidnapping stats, out of the 30 worst kidnapping stations in the country, 21 of them in Gauteng, 7 in KZN and 1 in Mpumalanga. Absolutely, Gauteng has serious problems. So we are eager to help. Collaboration is good for all of local government, and lessons learned here between us and SAPS can easily be replicated in Gauteng. We're rolling out a number of interventions, including the 100 extra officers in the Cape Town CBD, which adds on to the 1,300 officers we've deployed in the 13 worst crime hotspots across the city and those worst police precincts. Quarter on quarter, they've made a positive impact on crime, and we've seen the crime trends in these priority stations, serious contact crime gradually reducing. At least 7 or so of the 10 stations every quarter is showing reduction, different stations. And that means the overall trend there is very positive, just on 400 firearms recovered in the last year. So we definitely have progress there. We've just reintroduced the gunfire detection technology, which is about to go live. Our Eye in the Sky, the high-flying next level version of a drone, is going to give us huge tactical advantages and crime-fighting advantages, which we will share with SAPS. That is about to go live earlier next year. We've got our drones and our drone contractors out working for us. We're using them in operations in these last weeks continuously, and they're benefiting the national police agencies as well. And then, of course, we've got a tourism unit that the provincial government has sponsored that we will launch very soon, and a variety of other interventions around technology, like the automated number plate recognition in our highway units, which will become standard in all of our vehicles by June next year. All the traffic, law enforcement and Metro Police staff in Cape Town will start having dash cams and, importantly, body cams, which protects the rights of the public but also the officers.
This is such encouraging news, not only about little Abirah Dekhta, who's safely home tonight, but just generally going forward. The more we cooperate and talk and learn from each other, the safer South Africa can become. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. It is much appreciated. City of Cape Town Safety and Security MMC, JP Smith.